the next edition of Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy. We are here with ConservativePip from DeviantART, and he is going to be talking to us about Freemium Games, which I've never heard of this Freemium Games thingy until I ran into him. So, would you please let us know, what are these Freemium Games? I've never heard of it, so please fill us in.
I honestly see Freemium Games as a scourge that needs to be dealt with somehow. An entire episode of South Park was dedicated to the subject. Some of the more modern Call of Duty games have over $100 worth of possible DLC. Candy Crush makes over $500,000 a day. Games openly sell shortcuts that allow you to get a powerful class or item much more quickly than through normal gameplay. And The Sims 4 has even openly removed the feature from The Sims 3 and sells it back as DLC on the current game.
Okay, so
I can say from personal experience, you know, generally, like with games like War Thunder, they can serve to be a disadvantage because if you're working on your premium setup and you're trying to build your tiers and things of that nature out of War Thunder, and War Thunder is basically a game where you fly aircraft and you can do a few ground units in War Thunder. They have tanks and stuff available, but they do have downloadable content available that you can pay money to get, but the problem is you're kind of shafting yourself because you buy this really high tier aircraft and then you've got nothing else to back it up with, and once you get blown out of the sky in your high tier airplane, you got to go back to some like tier 1 or tier 2 aircraft. And the way the game is set is it will match you in a tier system based on the type of aircraft that you do have. And if you have an airplane that's like, you know, say a tier 5, you know, or tier 7 or something, or way up there, way the hell up there, you know, you'll get placed in a tier 7 match, and then once you get blown out of that airplane, you get put back into a tier 1 aircraft in a tier 7 match.
Ooh.
So you're kind of shafting yourself, and I've seen it happen many times. You know, some guy's flying a little pea shooter, you know, 30s fighter against a bunch of, you know, early 50s jet aircraft. You can see how well that's going to go. Aircraft that are capable of 500 miles an hour is according to some little aircraft that can barely do over 100, you know. So you're pretty much just cannon fodder. As to where if you build up your tier system, you're actually earning things one at a time, and you know you're not screwing yourself because, okay, you know.
Let me see if I understand this properly. So the idea of freemium games is when it's technically a free game, but then you can buy all this extra shit, which then ends up being a complete waste of fucking time because in the long run, the extra shit really doesn't get you anywhere, and the whole freemium concept is just a mechanism designed to basically take your money and fuck you over.
I think maybe, because, well, I'm going to, one thing, well, Freemium is sort of a scourge that I think needs to be dealt with. There are some games have openly removed features from a previous title and releases on DLC on a future title, or on the current title.
So basically they take a pre-existing feature and they remove it, and then they sell it as an add-on in a future game. So you're literally buying what once was free. And then on top of it, to compound the problem, is what Richard just went into. So the whole freemium concept is nothing but a concept to screw you over and take your money.
That's pretty much the idea, yeah.
Sure. Let me pull up there was a cracked.com article I found a while back about free.
Alright, well, when you pull up the crack.com article, why don't you paste it into the chat box here, and then Richard can pull that up and do a screen share so that everyone else can see the article too.
Something is wrong here.
Why? What's up? Are you still there?
Okay, this is getting awkward.
There you are.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you're back. It's cool. So yeah, just look up that correct article and paste the link into the chat box in this Hangout, and then Richard will pull that up and enable his screen share so that everybody else can see it while we're talking about it. That's one of the convenient features of Google Hangout. We have that sort of capability with that. And also, if you can look up the name of the South Park episode that made fun of this, just in case anybody might want to go back and watch that episode through Netflix or whatever South Park
Freemium
happens to
isn't
be.
free is the name of the episode.
Okay, Freemium isn't free. So yeah, whether we can find that on YouTube or Netflix or wherever that can be found.
I think I remember briefly seeing the episode, but all I remember is that it's so evil that it literally was made by the Canadian version of Satan, and the South Park's regular Satan had to possess a regular character to defeat the Canadian one.
Okay. So the title is Freemium Isn't Free, so anybody else watching this can kind of like jot that down, and later, you know, whether you can watch it through YouTube or Netflix or wherever it is people can view this episode, people can then track it down based on the title and watch this. I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that later. I'm kind of curious. I've never seen that South Park episode.
Generally, here in the United States, if you want to see South Park, Hulu's the place to do it.
Yes.
Although I'd imagine it's probably on Netflix too, isn't it? I mean, I have Netflix,
no.
although I've never personally checked to see whether or not South Park was actually there. But
I haven't seen South Park on Netflix. I've only seen like Family Guy, American Dad, The Cleveland Show. I've only seen Seth MacFarlane stuff. I've never seen any South Park or The Simpsons. So
I'm just gonna double check and see if maybe somebody uploaded that to YouTube. I just started typing the word freemium, and the first result is freemium isn't free. I did that in the YouTube interface there, and let's see.
Hold on, I can't remember the article. I'm gonna look under video games.
Okay, well, YouTube has it quote-unquote rentable for freemium isn't free, $1.99. And there are also little clips and stuff that people have uploaded from that, South Park clips, and then there's also a review. Freemium isn't free. Yeah, there's these little reviews and stuff like South Park After Show Season 18 Episode 6 Freemium isn't free. After Buzz TV, that's a 27.
Oh yes, I found the article. I found the article right here.
Okay. Yeah, so just toss that link into the chat box so that Richard can then pull that up into the screen share. That would be good. Or I could do it, whatever. It doesn't matter who does it. One of us will do it. But Richard will probably have more to say about it, so.
And I love OpenOffice. This thing is just awesome.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Go.
LibreOffice is pretty cool too.
Go and type this in.
Okay, you can't just give us the link to the article that you looked up. You can't copy and paste that in.
I'd rather not. I tend not to swear.
I'm not sure what that has to do with copying and pasting an article link, but okay.
It's just going up to the address bar at the top, just copying it in, and
Yeah, I have no idea what that has to do with profanity, copying and
There we
pasting a link, but
there we go.
yeah, you got it. Cool.
Copy.
Yeah, he pasted it, so you can go ahead and click into that. It's in the
I
chat
see
box.
it. That's what I'm
Yep.
doing right now.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
one of
Share.
the most blatant examples of freemium, perhaps the most blatant example, is the Destiny in this article.
Can
Destiny
you
game.
guys see my screen?
A video game.
Yep, I can. Did you click
This
the
is
button
the
that says?
first.
Hold on, guy. Did you the button that says present to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which,
Let's make it good.
you guys see the proper screen here?
Yeah.
Correct.
At least they've covered up the the nipples there, so it is YouTube compliant as far as their policies. But yeah, let's definitely focus on what the article is saying rather than
This-
5 video game DLCs so bad they should be considered scams. Paying for temporary titillation.
Titillation.
Let's just skip ahead to the first one on the second page. The taken game features. This is, to quote this article.
First one on the second page. Hold on, let Richard get there. He's
it says number 1, #1 thing.
Yeah.
Well, Sims 4 previously remove things previous games already had, but not only Destiny takes your games and remove things you are already playing. This is the first expansion to expand backwards into the past and destroy things you already had if you don't buy it. A video game that removes things from your history. That's not a DLC. That's a Doctor Who villain. I'm going to say this only once. I'm going to say this. Now they're dipping our toes in an entire ocean of urine, and that urine is lapping against a shore of shattered game discs, looking against a collapsed statue of Super Mario, as we fall into the stinking surf and scream that they're finally really done it. Oh, is this group chat thing visible on the live?
Oh yeah, we're live streaming, we're recording, it's all. Wait a minute, the chat box? No, not the chat box, but anything that he's got screen shared is visible. So is there something else Richard needs to put on the screen? Because like if you put links in the chat box, Richard can click them and load them up on the screen share if that's what you're asking. Because that's not a problem. That's what we just did with the Cracked article. You put it in the chat box on the side, and he clicked it and loaded it straight up in the screen share. So is there anything else that you need us to load up on the screen share?
All right, but try to censor the chat block. Try for some reason. I'm going to, I don't know.
Yeah. The text chat is not viewable to people watching the video. That's why I'm saying any links that you put in the text chat, Richard would have to click it and then load it into a new tab.
Thank you. So it's not visible.
Yeah. So that's what I just said like 3 times. So yeah, I was explaining if you want something visible, paste the link in the side, and Richard will click it and open up a new tab, and then it'll be visible on his screen. So we all on the same page. We all on the same page with that now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, this definitely seems like a problem. This freemium piece of shit here. It totally seems like a complete scamola.
Yes, freemium is something that's pretty bad, and this is while we openly have video game modding, mind you. Civilization 5 alone has like over 1,000 mods, and as NC-17 son, I have reviewed multiple mods of Civilization 5, and I'm working on a second Let's Play series of a mod called Superpower. It is a total conversion thingy that adds many new units, policies, buildings, wonders, and as well as new game concepts.
Well, I play one of the classic predecessors to Sid Meier's Civilization. I never really got into the Sid Meier series, but I do play the old classic original Rise of Nations. That's a classic. And that one is... They do have it on Steam now, which I'm kind of glad that they moved it over to Steam. You know, because the multiplayer is kind of interesting. Sometimes it's fun to play multiplayer, but I've still got the original Microsoft inbox game, you know. And not only that, the mods are all free, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Most of the mods I deal with, though, aren't really like the scam mods that kind of can be a double-edged sword and bite you in the ass. I mean, there are certainly those mods that I've seen and been around. They do exist, and one of the biggest ones is like Facebook. Facebook is really annoying. Like sometimes, you know, if you want to play the game, it'll say, you know, pay $29.99 to do this, or you know, $30 to do that, or $50 to do that. It's like
I hate Facebook games.
That's why I hardly ever play games on Facebook, because it goes from being about the game to be. Well, I will say I've found an exception to the rule, and that's Star Trek.
Well, there are many games nowadays that instead of like you buy the game or you get the game for free and you buy random stuff in it, like exchange real game currency for digital currency to buy fictional items, to beat a player who also bought fictional items with real world money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they do that, you know, screwing over process there. Oh, hold on a minute, I've got a call coming in. Hey, Dad, we're in a live broadcast right now. Is it important? What's up? I don't know, maybe another hour or something like that. This guy's probably going to be heading to Benton. I mean, I could do that when I'm done, and I'm not going to be like on forever or anything. Yep. Well, Richard's on with me here too, so I guess I could just take a break right quick and just have Richard conduct this. Yep. All right, I'll be down. Yeah, I am needed briefly, so like I will be right back in a few minutes. So Richard, you're gonna have to take this over for the moment, but you guys are doing most of the talking anyway, so that's all good. But just letting you know, I will be right back. All right?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. I would like the thing about Freemium is that while many people are getting into outwaste contests on popular Facebook games, there are some lesser known games that are into it and might have more rewarding experiences that cost less money. The problem is that they're a little more obscure than, say, Candy Crush or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can name a few games for you that I found that might be worth more of your time. Well, let me pull up something. Plays, my video reviews. Games I'd like to get is an article, small thing I wrote here. There is a game on Steam called Age of Decadence, which is a really gritty, which is like a sad Fall of Rome style world. Like basically imagine medieval times plus Fallout as Age of Decadence.
Mm-hmm.
There is a It's an unusual in a fantasy sense. Instead of being a swashbuckling hero who can easily slay dozens of men throughout his or her journey, you aren't meant to be a swashbuckling hero in this game. There are enough possible deaths you can die in the game to easily make a dumb ways to die video. People will hesitate to lie and steal from you. In your starting location, a man will claim to have fine weapons, but will have to dispute with the commercial faction. He will lead you to a house where two men ambush and try to kill you. In the game, you can even perform your own cons.
Interesting.
And for some reason, removing your female character's armor reveals her breasts. The game is also too vast and will make use of way too many skills, even early on for a completist run. To experience the games, it requires multiple runs with multiple characters. Even conning immersion outside the inn makes uses of 3 skills: Persuasion, Streetwise, and Impersonate. Skills that would be combined into one skill in a normal RPG. There's also a bit of comedy elements in there, but this game, I tried the demo on Steam, and it's interesting. There are also other games that Let's go on to to modding in general. Mods, I think, should be a protected form of free expression. What do you think?
Well, the way I think of mods, I mean, personally, like when it comes to freemiumware, I think personally, I mean, it's almost to me like buyer beware type of thing. I mean, yeah, there's going to be unfortunately the gullible ones who are going to go for it and, you know, end up doing something really stupid and making it not fun for themselves. But when it comes to freemiumware, I think really the best safeguard would be to prevent, you know, the stupid type of stuff that you can sometimes see with freemium. It's like when you get to a certain level in the game, when you've actually shown vested interest in the game and you've actually been working at it the normal way for a while, then it could unlock those things like expansions, you know, they could be unlocked with levels, you know, like once you've leveled up, you know, you've gained perks, you've gained, you know, access to certain things. But you won't have the ability to unlock all of the downloadable content until you've literally played the damn thing to its conclusion.
Here's a miscellaneous statement. What if there was like a very cute winemaker's daughter, but there was just one small problem? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
The girl's feet smell like Cabernet Sauvignon. That was just a miscellaneous diversion, but seriously, I'm pretty sure when it comes to gaming, I'm pretty sure modifying your game, like adding various stuff to your game, like say the mod Rise of the Wrens, which is a Command & Conquer Generals mod. I'm pretty sure modding should be a protected form of free speech. Whether it's a country guy installing a Geet engine into his truck, putting armor on his Geet engine truck, putting a laser pointer thingy on his favorite shotgun, to a man installing, say, Community Call to Power, which is a really, really massive Civilization 5 mod, into his game. And there is an entire Steam, and modding is so popular that Steam literally put a feature called the Steam Workshop, where you can literally get mods off of Steam and put it into your game. And boy, are some of them pretty vast.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, flight simulator mods are crazy. Like there's all kinds of scenery modifications for airports. There's
speaking of freemium and DLC, one of the most freemium, perhaps the most DLC in a Steam game is Train Simulator, where like many different trains. Perhaps if there was like an alternate reality with the Additional Millennium Copyright Act and copyright didn't exist, I would I wouldn't be surprised in this dimension if that train simulator game had everything from the train, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic cutesy train that's seen in the intro, to various Thomas the Train Engine trains, to trains themed after Star Wars characters. Maybe, what do you think?
Well, yet again, I've seen mods on Flight Simulator where, people have made aircraft libraries out of Star Wars. They've made My Little Pony libraries for F-18s. I mean, that stuff already exists, It just comes down to the guy who can make the coding for the skin and things of that nature. And it's really just a form of, it's just showing off something. It's just taking something else of creativity and putting it into a game that you enjoy playing. It's not.
Yeah,
You're not stealing anything. You're just converting a popular culture image and putting it on an airplane. Hell, in the wake of the Paris tragedy, because I like a few flight simulator groups on Facebook. There were guys taking freeware like Boeing 727s, which are basically 3-engined aircraft, and they were basically putting hashtag Pray for Paris and putting the colors of the French flag on the airplane as a livery, just as a commemoration for what happened in Paris,
And that is why modding is a good version. Should be a protected form of free speech.
I'd say it already is. I'd really say it already is because
I know, but it's not. I don't think it is protected because, well, we got
TPP.
Yes, I was going to say that. I'm pretty sure there's enough Constitution violating stuff in there that if someone were affected by TPP, like having their computer seized or having their free speech violated, they could probably go to the Supreme Court and they would render a Supreme Court decision that would render TPP void. And the judges who do this decision might score some very serious political points. They could run for president and easily score 1 million or more votes in their favor.
Only problem is because it's all corporate controlled. Well, the last president to run up against the corporations was JFK, and we all know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. The main thing.
Plus, I got 2 words for you: electoral college. I never, when I was taking Constitution class, and when I was a teenager, it's like I was like, wait a minute, the electoral college can take whatever the people vote and overwrite it, and these guys can just make the vote whatever they want. How is it that we actually have fair election then? Doesn't seem like we do. The Electoral College is a piece of crap. It's corporate controlled. It's Wall Street controlled. And it just takes the people's votes and goes, no, we don't like what they voted. We'll just do what we want. It's an inherent rigging that's been in the system forever, but most people, they're oblivious to it and they don't realize the implications.
Well, I was just about to say, one of the biggest things about the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, that's really kind of a shot in the foot, and the reason why free speech for mods and things of that nature are protected really more than people want it, the powers that be want us to believe, is because if somebody gets taken down, it gets reported immediately. There's not. I mean, just look at the dark web, for instance. I mean, everything that Anonymous does, for Christ's sake, is it's instantaneously uploaded. So, I mean, if some guy got taken down, a little small guy got taken down because, he put a mod on something, that would make the news so quick it wouldn't even be funny. And there'd be so much public outrage and attention that, anything that any of these companies or corporations or whoever could do, it would just severely backfire and,
Thank God for free speech.
They would lose more in the long run than they'd be gaining out of it. That's why they don't do anything. The main thing that the Trans-Pacific Partnership is mostly fear porn. It's designed to keep people in check and make people think, well, because this exists, that means I shouldn't be creative.
The TPP can only work if the people decide to be complacent to it. But if the people look at it and go, fuck you, we're not doing that, then it's a fail.
I can somehow imagine a man taking his case to Supreme Court about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, most people don't understand what copyright was originally designed to do. Back in the day, there just used to be a problem of someone saying, okay, I made this song. Then someone else would say, no, you didn't, I did. The third person would go, no, you didn't, I did. So all copyright was originally there to do is to be able to determine who actually made a piece of material. And in the event that somebody else used your copyrighted material, it wasn't like, oh, you're forbidden to use it. It's like, okay, if you make money from that, then the original copyright holder is authorized to a cut of that money. That's all it was ever there to do. It's not there to control derivative works and to Naziistically try to repress freedom of speech and expression and creativity. That's what copyright has turned into. But even on the books as it stands, it's written that that's not what it's for.
I wonder if someone would have used TPP to go after marijuana legalization speech. Then again, even they would not be dumb enough to do that, due to the sheer crapstorm it would unleash, like DDoS attacks by the masses, Sony-styled hacks that would cause millions of dollars of damages. Basically, the marijuana legalization people do not want to be trampled with, as they already been enough, and they're pretty much rock hard as heck.
Well, I'd say in the news recently, I mean, you know, I think the reason why the news doesn't really bash Anonymous and you don't really hear much about the news talking about Anonymous, they just kind of ignore them like a gray area, is because Anonymous time and again has proven that they can do what they say that they can do. I mean, recently what they did with ISIS, they took over, 25,000 Twitter accounts and shut them down. And not only that, blew the floodgate open of like, okay, why does ISIS have 25,000 Twitter accounts, and who gave ISIS 25,000 Twitter accounts? Those are the questions that are being asked now.
Yeah,
it's the mainstream level and the alternative level.
It's like, gee, why is Zuckerberg banning TSU simply for the crime of being equitable, yet Zuckerberg does not ban Twitter? And Twitter has had what? Like you just said, over 25,000 ISIS accounts.
Conservative Pip, do you know what TSU is?
I heard of it.
TSU or suit, yeah.
Here, let me pull it up so that way.
So it's like Zuckerberg is saying we love ISIS, but TSU bad. You know what I mean?
I see the hypocrisy in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have.
It's like,
ISIS,
oh, we're not gonna ban ISIS, but we're gonna ban a competing rival social media network that shares ad revenue with its users.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about?
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, here is TSU. TSU is like Facebook, only what TSU does is it gives 90% of the ad revenue that it generates to its users instead of taking all of that revenue and pocketing it for their own corporate interests like Facebook.
Like Zuckerberg does.
This website is so controversial right now that Zuckerberg had it banned simply because it's, it's a direct threat. Just that model is a direct threat. Right now in my account alone, I have $1.53.
I have $21 and some odd cents.
And Dave has $21 and some odd cents. One of my other friends, Trent, I don't even know what he's up to by now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like $40 or $50 by now.
Kevin Hinkle makes about $200 or $300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these are the results just of a very new service that's just, not even very old at all, a little over a year. So if it's already doing that, if people are already making tens of dollars and hundreds of dollars, then it's like, what's the long run going to be? I mean, if you've got like a major, like super celebrity, oh, that's weird, Rich just dropped, he'll be back. If you've got a major superstar celebrity who's got,
They would earn millions.
millions and millions of followers. I mean, if people are making $200 and $300 a month with like 30,000 followers, what can a superstar celebrity make with millions and millions of followers? So the potential is really sick here. And it's just like Zuckerberg's all pissed off because it's like, oh my God, if they succeed with that and all the other social media networks then do that as well, then oh my God, I'm going to have to change my business model in order to survive. And Zuckerberg don't want to change.
I agree. I guess
He likes to control. He doesn't like to change to everyone else. He likes to change everyone else to his nasty will, So he does not like where this is going. And this whole big cock block that he's done has only served to give TSU more and more advertisement. I mean, it's already reached RT News.
Yeah, I mean, it's hit RT News. I believe.
Wait a minute. Wait. Why do I have so many DVR views already? Like, I'm over 100 now, but it's like, is being live really doing? This is awesome. If we're here about Freemium, let's.
What views are you looking at?
My views on my DeviantArt, like 9,401. Let me refresh. 9,403. This is, I don't know why, but let's not.
I think what you're looking at is your page views over time, like on my deal here, like you can see.
Yeah, I've already done that. But can we talk about Freemium since this is our main subject here?
Yeah, well, this has directly to do with it too, because imagine, how people do like online game reviews and things like that on YouTube and gameplay and all that. And
already been doing that.
Yeah, they take and demonstrate their mods on YouTube. Well, not only does YouTube have, the YouTube Partners program where you can get paid by them for doing all of that. I'm in the Partners program, and so is Rich. But imagine the game modding, genre moving over to something like TSU, to where they're sharing their game mods and stuff on TSU and getting paid simply because they're doing it. How much more better could the mods be if the modders were getting paid? Think about that.
I know, that would be awesome. And I don't know about that TPP thing. I'm pretty sure, considering how feared Anonymous is, they could probably do some serious damage to their lobbyists. Like the MPAA.org website would be targeted by Anonymous and wrecked so thoroughly that it would take weeks to get it back online, and a format that might be different since it was wrecked so thoroughly. Anonymous is...
Oh yeah, I can imagine that if they pass TPP, there's a lot of websites that'll be going down. Not to mention what most people don't know as well is that when people think of like viruses and all that stuff, they think, oh well, software can only hurt software. Wrong. You can make a computer virus that will destroy hardware because it can reconfigure it to overclock so much that you burn out hard drives, you burn out processors, so on and so forth. So if Anonymous wanted to be real dicks, they could actually physically destroy these corporations' computer server hardware through their hacking. Most people don't realize that, yes, that is possible.
Yes, and I can only imagine the chatter that would go on by people already weary of Obama, and that some people have already spoken about seceding from the Union. Texas even put that in their constitution hundreds of years ago.
It's funny, what most people don't know about that?
Yeah?
For the longest time, there hasn't been a union. The union got hijacked when they created the United States of America Incorporated, which is completely separate from the original union that our founding fathers set up. So what most people don't realize is we don't need to secede from the union. There's no union to succeed from. The states simply need to divorce themselves from the corporation legally and then reform back into the original union as it was supposed to be. Then a lot of the control systems will be undone.
Well,
All they have to do is divorce Wall Street, basically, and reform back up into the actual original union instead of the United States of America Incorporated.
In my fiction, in my comedy idea, The World Mud, which the fictional facts which inspired the World Mud and NC-17 saw, it's pretty dystopian. Even before the corporations and everything, there is clearly elements of magic in it. Like the plague is a dump filled with used up alchemical regions and spellcasting regions. But my focus here is on NC-17 sand. It would require a whole nother video to go through the World Mud, and let's only do one topic for now.
Well, neuro-linguistic programming is also known as word magic. That's why you have spelling class.
I guess.
Words are what they are, very much on purpose. If only people would study the history of words, they'd understand the language they're speaking a bit better.
But let's just go through some of my favorite good mods I found online, since that's what we're here for.
Yep. Well, feel free to toss up those links, and I'm sure Richard will display them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got any links to show off those mods, feel free.
I've also reviewed some YouTube videos and some free internet games like Flash games that are also worthy of. The reason I wanted to review some YouTube videos is to help spread fame of them. And if something is famous enough, it'll be undesirable to take it down, because you'll release a crap storm on yourself like a brass-knuckled punk punching a beehive.
Yeah, that's why it's better for something to get popular in such a way to where everybody is doing it equally instead of there being a central figurehead. That's why open source software is so unstoppable, because you could take down the headquarters, but hey, it was open source, so anybody can then take it and do what they want. So it's like you take down one version of it and there's 1,000 more immediately.
I don't know if I want open source if I had to make my own game. I probably would store some backup copies on it. I might be a little bit selfless since I openly talk about modding, the scourge of freemium, and free speech, but I do want to make a little bit of money if I had to.
Open source is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The idea that people think there's no money to be made from open source would be as dumb as saying there's no money to be made from broadcast TV because you can watch it for free. Oh, really? As if broadcast TV hasn't been like a multi-billion-dollar freaking industry.
Major industry.
Oh, yeah. Free and open source software is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Mm-hmm.
It just creates cognitive dissonance when people hear that. I'm just like, well, does Google charge you to do a search? When you turn on your AM/FM radio, do they charge you to listen to stations? Do they charge you to watch TV? No.
Okay. First mod right here is called Rise of the Reds. I'll post it right here. Rise of the Reds is an interesting game. Is an interesting mod. It's based off CNC Generals, which involves three. The default game CNC Generals involves three factions. The GLA, the Global Liberation Army, though if you believe the workers' quotes, the liberation part is to be taken with a grain of salt. There is also the USA, which is technologically advanced, and China, which is also pretty advanced as well.
Hey, Rich, did you get the link? I'm not seeing anything on the screen yet.
Kind of multitasking here, so there we go.
Rise of the Reds Rise of the Reds adds two factions. The ECA, which is also high-tech, and in some ways even more high-tech than America. While the ECA in Rise of the Reds doesn't use drone technology as much as America, they have a giant vehicle. They have a giant power plant called a solar reactor, which provides enough power for 100 ECA super weapons and still have tons of power left to use. They also have repairing nanobots, powered armor, long-range artillery, and a super heavy tank that features said nanobots. Let's just say, between showing off the various review articles I have on my DeviantART with NC-17 Son's reviews, it would probably take more than an hour. And I want to get to bed soon.
Yep, that's fine. We don't have to do all that. I'm just waiting for Richard to load up the screen share for the
It's already
link.
uploaded. It should already be uploaded. It should be
Oh,
there.
now we see it.
Yeah, should have had it up there for at least 20 seconds.
There's a little bit of delay time, I guess. That was weird. So are there any like screenshots here? Obviously we're seeing a text only interface here. Oh, images. Click on images there.
Images. Well, I see videos and stuff.
Yeah, let's check out images though. They might have some screenshots. He's on ConservativePip is on limited time, so we don't really have the time to go through tons of videos. But if we could get some image screenshots up there as to what he's talking about, that would be great.
Okay, I'm going to pull up another thing called Community Call to Power. It is a massive Civilization 5 mod that adds everything from a caveman era to a far future era, with like tanks that fire lasers, something called a beam jumper.
Richard, did you flip to the images page, because I'm still seeing it on the summary page?
It should be where the live stream thing is, and it's like showing.
Let's just skip that one. I'm going to post some screenshots of something I have on DeviantArt, which is a bunch of screenshots of one of the mods I reviewed.
Okay. Well, we need to advertise your DeviantArt account anyway, so that works. Richard, if you would click into the new link that was just pasted.
Okay. Doing that now.
For some reason, I'm still seeing the summary page. It's not like it's almost like it froze. Can you like disengage and re-engage screen share?
Okay. Another thing I would like to share is, let me pull something up.
I'm still not seeing anything. I see your icon there. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't have webcam yet.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Richard. Richard's trying to do a... Yeah, it's not, which is really weird.
End.
That's weird.
Seeing the infinite loop thing and the whole deal, it's working on my end.
Not on my end, strangely enough. So I'm not sure if that's just the glitch is only on my end or if it's kind of universal glitch here. Disengage your screen share. I will engage mine, and we will go ahead and do it that way. Present to everyone.
I don't know if the
Can everyone see this?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
I'm going to say something. I really don't know if the Electoral College is corporate controlled, since we had some pretty socialistic people like Roosevelt, Teddy, and Franklin Delano, and they took over and did some stuff not in corporation's favor, as well as the founding of some kind of thing that helped with fraudulent loans and something. I don't remember the name of it.
That's a whole massive topic that we don't have time for, and it would be an incredible sidetrack. Both me and Richard could speak at length on geopolitics, but that would be a huge, massive sidetrack, and you don't have the time for it.
Okay.
Just saying.
I don't believe that the Electoral College is entirely corporate controlled, but that's not to say that corporations have done some dubious things with America, because they totally have.
Yeah, again, that would be, you're risking me and Richard going on, like, you know, a 1+ hour more, like, rant segue. So probably not the best of ideas to get into that right now, seeing as you're unlimited time. It might be a good idea to focus on these mods here. I've got the screen share up. I've got the NC-17 SAN Reviews CCTP Civ 5 mod. I've got that on my screen. So maybe if what we're talking about might match what's on my screen, that would probably be a good idea.
This mod is extremely vast. There is various things like this protected cruiser, which looks like some kind of steampunk battleship, even though it's based off a real-world unit. It just reminds one of a steampunk thing. And there is other stuff like this fusion tank, this beam jumper, which looks like something out of Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, those have kind of got a medieval look to them, that's for sure.
Now,
This one's got like a semi-futuristic look to it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Semi.
yes, I've seen it in the game.
Anything more to say about this, or are we going off to another link, or what are we doing?
Oh yes, let me fire up another link.
Okay.
I also have done some Let's Plays, but I've made over an hour of footage of Let's Play footage, and I'm working on a second Let's Play as I have. You can visit those in my journal, the links to in my journal for later use.
Yes.
Now,
And now people can see the sidebar within the chat sidebar within the infinite Google tunnel of infiniteness here, because it's kind of doing a repeating loop in on itself. But I've got the screen loaded up because I'm just waiting for you to give the next link. So that's the only way I had to click on it, is to be able to see it and click on it. So
here is another Civilization 5 mod that should be noted. That is noteworthy. Right here.
okay, loading it up. And I have it on my screen. We can all see that, right?
Yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
And there's a link in there for a YouTube Let's Play of this mod, but let's not get into that right now.
Yeah, not enough time for that. Okay, so what are we going to say about this mod here?
I'm still working on a Let's Play for this mod, but I can tell you it's very good so far. There is even unique 3D artwork for resources like this, like the lapis lazuli, and there is others as well on my Let's Play video series. This mod also divides aircraft into 3 classes, not including helicopters. Air superiority, which is strong against attack aircraft and bombers, but can attack land or naval units. Air attack units are strong against land and naval units, but weak against cities. Bombers specialize in attacking cities and can release special promotions for killing city population or destroying military buildings. Buildings can also go obsolete in this game. And there is even a project in this game, in this mod, called the Campaign to Suppress Bandits, which provides a combat bonus against barbarians, culture for killing them, or notifications when their camps arise and explore territory, but this uses up a chance to adopt policies. They
And
also
if anybody wants to see this and more, they can just go to http://conservativepip.deviantart.com, and you can get to his gallery and journals and all the other before mentioned stuff. So please continue.
There are also special projects that allow one to train a unique military unit. Everything from Spartans to a giant death robot to some armored Chinese knight thingies. There is also unique units that Smod introduces, like a cog, which is basically a medieval ship, and for some reason the in-game model makes it appear like the ship is being flooded. And it's also weird how in the default game, tier rates were being deployed well into the medieval era.
So basically you got Voltron standing there yelling, "This is Sparta!"
Where's Voltron?
Never mind, but that was a joke. But Voltron's a big robot. We'll just leave it at that.
Wait, I need to do something right now.
Okay. Insert Jeopardy theme music here.
Okay, my mom is getting a They do political videos and stuff. I met them on a political DVR.
Yes, we are live streaming right now, so don't say anything you don't want the world to know.
All right. I'm still I'm 19, so this is normal.
Okay, that's all good.
Okay.
It's just when outside observers walk in on a live stream, it's good to let them know, hey, on a live stream, don't say anything you don't want the world to know.
I know, but this is like my first live stream. I have to learn this. It requires.
I was just issuing the warning because it sounded like other people were talking to you and that they could probably hear me. So I was just kind of issuing the warning.
Okay, another thing I would like to make people aware of is there are also other mods and stuff that I've been reviewing. Here is another mod that I'm going to pull up right now.
Would it be a good idea to just go into your gallery? Like I could click on ConservativePip right here. That'll take us to the main page. And then we go into gallery. Yep, heading there. As quickly as DeviantArt will let me. Okay, and I'm guessing. Okay, where am I going here?
Wait, scroll back up.
Here?
There is a scroll back up. Higher. On the side, there should be a folder that has the words NC-17 sign on it.
A folder? Yeah, here. Okay, so what are we doing?
Okay, this is all of my reviews so far, but I'm still working on others. I don't know what to pull up, honestly. How about we pull...
So you got a whole bunch of stuff in here.
Wait a minute. Wait, let me see.
Yep, waiting is exactly what we're doing.
Okay. Let me scroll up.
To where?
A little higher. This is my character's bio. Right here, San lying on beach. This is basically her personality, and boy, is it pretty vast. But let's just go to... Scroll down. This is Ken Bei-Fong is the creator of NC-17 San. In the world he lives in, which he reports for the World Mud, which has weird articles that are fictional. And even though in their world corporations do rule, that isn't to say our world isn't much the same. It's just that their world is a little weirder. I'm pretty sure, in their world, you can literally hire everything from mercenaries to demons as mercenaries. Just focus on that word. She also has a bunch of phrases and words to describe various things. Calls the various ancient Middle Eastern dialects a Elders Cthulhu language. Frequently says COD grenade when playing video games, and also says COD reload. Often uses the Japanese word diato instead of the English word diet after seeing an episode of Penny Stocking and Garterville. And he has a word called poo-poo stealers. She calls that because there were which describes capitalists who try to hold on to every penny that isn't spent on a decadent lifestyle. They are called poo-poo stealers because they were so incredibly greedy that they would supposedly raid celebrity septic tanks and take their poop just for its sentimental value from being made by a celebrity and having the gold or silver flakes of their expensive food items. This, oddly enough, was inspired by something I saw from a song on the Kid Station in Sims 3. Yeah, and the Sims 3 is known for its gibberish.
So here's a question for you. Does this in any way, shape, or form tie into freemium games and the pretty much the overall topic of this?
She is an eccentric but lovable tomboy waif, but occasionally her personality bleeds out into the Let's Plays and what she says, and occasionally the things I come up with in my Let's Plays and reviews bleed out into this profile. There is one phrase she uses called young tablet is a word she got from the Persian leader during her Zaire Let's Play series, which is used for describing the most recently available tablet computer, in particular tablet line.
Okay, and how does this tie into freemium games, which is the topic of this hangout, obviously, and about the modding and so on and so forth? Is this about some sort of a mod for a freemium game that you play, or
no? It's
how does
just
it tie in?
Like I said, her profile. I add various bits to her profile while thinking of stuff from my reviews and Let's Plays, and occasionally they show up here. She believes in a fictional struggle called Warhammer 40K, which is an epic battle between capitalists and their hired goons. And for some reason, she calls any year before 2010, let's say the year 2000, let's say you call the year 2009, 2009. NC-17 calls 2009 1 year before Bronies.
Okay.
Also, go back out. Go back.
Okay. Scroll or literally go back out to the main gallery listing?
Click the back button, yeah.
Where are we going?
Scroll down. I would like to show fans a project that I have canceled. There is a comic series by a certain DeviantArt user that I have been parodying called Fantasy Equestria. I wanted to get permission to continue the series, and so far I haven't gotten the permission to continue it, and I have since ceased production on it. I did ask permission to make the series, but I didn't want to continue it and stuff.
Alrighty.
These right here are the various notebook thingies, which is something Mr. Enter thought of. That's an old drawing of NC-17 on, which I have since retired that style.
Alrighty. By the way, what time zone are you in? Eastern time, Central? I forget what time zone you're in.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, that's Eastern time.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's almost midnight by you then.
Okay. I would also part of part of my thing involves why should people waste hundreds of dollars on freemium games when there are free to play, when there are completely free Flash games that one can easily find with a quick Google search. And many of those reviews are in that folder as well. Like, I'm going to pull up one review right now. Right here.
Alrighty. Yeah, I was just letting you know about the time because I know you said you didn't have much of it and you needed to get to bed, so I just wanted to be respectful of that. But yeah, we saw this when I was originally browsing through a well-upgraded merchant ship. It can be customized. NC-17 Sand Reviews Star Runner Genesis.
It is a game set between two factions, light and darkness, and there are three classes. A variety of trade goods with varying lethality, legality, frailty, cost, and stability. Your ship's windows, main color, and secondary colors can be customized. There are also quests for selling certain goods to certain locations with a cash bonus on top of the profits you receive. Upgrades to the cockpit, life quarters, chassis, and engines change the appearance of the ship, make it faster, adds armor, shields, hull, increases fuel consumption, adds more space for fuel. Some planets sell different parts. This game also has planets and trading asteroids, 2 different landing types, the animation of your ship landing, or just land without watching what may be a flash animation, or even watch your ship in flight on its way to its destination. I would also like to pull up some other games that I think deserve to be looked at in a world of freemium. These games aren't freemium. There is games I would like to get. Let me pull up that WordPad document.
Alrighty. So,
Okay.
how much longer are you going to be able to be on the live stream with us here? I know you had mentioned multiple times about time constraints, and I want to be respectful of that. So, if you could answer that question for me.
Okay, one game that I think deserves a look at is Torchlight 2, which has various mods. I found 2 on Steam that I think deserve a look at called...
Yes. My apologies for interrupting, but I did ask you a question. I said, seeing as you apparently stated multiple times that you have limited time because you need to get to bed, I would like to be respectful of that. Therefore, I'm asking how much longer you have to participate on the live stream. It's already 10 to midnight in your time zone. I mean, we could talk till 2 in the morning for all it matters, but I want to be respectful of, you know, the time that you wish to get to bed, because obviously you need your sleep and so on, and I do not want to be disrespectful of the time that you have allotted. So how much time do we have left for this conversation? That's my question.
I'd say 10 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to know, because my mind reading skills really suck.
Okay, two notable mods I found on Steam for Torchlight 2, which is a Steam Workshop game. There is something called the Core Mod Pack, which has which is a mod pack of various smaller mods, including one that increases the experience you gain and grants more points for boosting your character. It's not an online game, so the default campaign isn't online. There's another Torchlight 2 mod I would like to speak about is Synergies, which I haven't reviewed, but if I get Torchlight 2 in the future, I would like to show what Synergies is. There is also other games that I think deserve a look at there's one called Space Pirates and Zombies, which I had for a while, and it is a free game, and it costs only $9.99, so it's a pretty good buy. One game that deserves one interesting game series in an unusual fantasy setting, like really unusual fantasy setting, is the Gene Force series, which deserves which is it takes place in a weird world where there's an absence of goblins and trolls and dragons, but the faction in the game that you can play with or against the various games, you are either fighting them or with them. They created their own weird creatures, and some of them are quite weird. And one final mod that I would.
Okay.
One final mod, then we'll stop the hangout, I hope.
Okay.
Thanks and have a good day.
Alrighty, is that the last link that you want to show us here?
Okay,
On the,
display it.
Let's play and review.
Display
Okay.
it.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and enable screen share.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know why that requires Adobe Flash on that thing for some reason.
Because it's a YouTube video, that's why. So, moving on.
Scroll down. I put like various words I say in the video in the description, so you can look around and find the various humorous lines, like that one, horse penis. I get it. That's a really immature random generator thingy, and it was like it's supposed to be an archipelago, like a peninsula, and on the tip of the peninsula was a horse resource. And
well, that's okay. Here on PSEC, we use far more immature comedy than that, so you're in good company.
Scroll up.
No worries. Okay.
I also make various humorous references to my videos. I'll share with you a few lines from my various Let's Plays. What if there were... Okay. One line from... Now, let me pull up one.
Or if people were to just want to go in and read this themselves and watch the full video on the conservativepip.deviantart.com /journal, obviously, you could see the title there, and you could see the title in the link there as well. So he's got the full video explanation here. This is your YouTube account, correct?
FlagDog3 is my YouTube account, yes.
Okay, yeah, so this is from yours, okay.
But my final one line I would like to share with you is from Son Let's Play and Review his Superpower Part 6. Hello. In 2017, Son was going to learn how to build special banks that can be used for marijuana-based businesses and marijuana drug dealers to hide money from their government in their country. They also granted $25 loans for people to try new fast food items. It only required things like belly button lints, pennies, and old toys you no longer desire for collateral. They meant one loan a week.
The Pope gave me dope. Okay.
I also made an earlier Let's Play when I was talking about the banking technology. I mentioned that the Chinese had special banks that grant chi loans, and it literally gave me the idea while working on that little line, and it gave me the idea for a pretty big World Mud article, the World Mud article.
Alrighty, So obviously you're on DeviantArt and on YouTube. Any other social media that people can find you on? Because I know you gotta go in a few minutes here, and I want to be fair and make sure people know all the different places that they could find you at. If they want to look at more of your stuff. You got like a Twitter or Facebook page or anything like that? Any other places that people can go for more information?
Okay, one more.
Okay, so twitter.com/conservativepip. Okay, well that's easy enough. You also might want to consider checking out TSU one of these days. If you want, no pressure.
On my post, click my Twitter and display it. I want to show something.
Okay. I can do that.
There is a post on there that says this is laughably bad security. Click the summary, and it's from a fellow person on the Controversy Inc. political forum political group.
Are you a terrorist?
Found this one off the internet. I don't know if this. All I know is in the world of fair use, you could claim you found it somewhere else, and you can't, or claim you found it somewhere else, or fair use is an interesting concept.
The official vetting form. Yes, we can. Thank you everybody for tuning in with us on Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy. Please be sure to check out ConservativePip on DeviantArt, Twitter, and obviously he has the YouTube account, which you could find through his DeviantArt account. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a wonderful day, night, or one final word. Okay, what's your one final word?
Why waste your hard-earned money on crap in a freemium game and engage in an outwaste contest with rival players? NC-17 Song can help extend the life of your games with some noteworthy mods of free internet games. Enjoy some of our game and gaming-related reviews and guides. Once I get a new computer, I'm going to do a lot more reviews. There is also some honorable mentions that I haven't had the honor of reviewing yet. One mod by the same people who did Rise of the Reds is called CNC Shockwave.
Alrighty. Well, I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to that. And seeing as you asked if we could wind this down now, as I was saying, everybody be sure to check him out on DeviantArt, on Twitter, on YouTube. And thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a good day, night, whatever it happens to be in your part of the planet. And, catch everybody later.